Well, welcome back here. We are here now for the boys senior championships, where we have St. Paul's Crusaders white playing St. Paul's Crusaders maroon. Goes to show you the population and the influx of kids that go to that high school, that they were big enough to have two teams. It's going to be an ultimate test here for their school. See who's the better coach, who's the better player. See the ultimate bragging rights for tomorrow. I guess in third period French, when players from each team get back to school tomorrow and see what they have to say about each other. As we have the starting lineups here being announced.
Welcome back. Welcome back to Sackville High School, everybody, for the last game of our quad header. We got the senior boys champions game between the St. Paul's Maroon and the St. Paul's White. Both St. Paul's teams match up in the final in the grade 9 division here, which is great for that school. Shot underneath, missed. Rebound by Guy Weinberg. Starting lineups for each team: the St. Paul's White trotting out Guy Weinberg, Jason Uzona, Truth Ojo, Dante Haskins, and Baruna Bendu. They're coached by Rod Uzat. The Maroon team getting out in transition, shot missed at the rim. It'll go out of bounds. It'll remain here with the Maroon team. And the Maroon team starting Michael Uzona, Mikhail Caparas, Mark Roxas, Marlon Alfaro, and Jacob Sy, coached by Joey Nitachorik, the former Bison. Sy driving, kicks out, Alfaro to the rim. Sy in the key, pulls up, jumper, won't go, off the mark. Rebound, put back up and in by Michael Uzona. Dante Haskins with it, gives it over to Guy Weinberg. Weinberg hands off, good pass to Haskins, back to Weinberg. Weinberg, one dribble layup, shot off the rim, won't go. And they're going to call foul. Rod Uzat, also VP of St. Paul's, Vice President of Students.
Whoa, that's a good job.
Also a very big Bob Knight fan. Very big Bob Knight fan, yeah.
There was a movie made about Bob Knight, and Dan Becker was actually in it. And Dan Becker is sitting down there.
No way.
Yes.
Roxas, tough fadeaway jumper, got to go.
I'm really glad you brought that up.
Why was Dan Becker in a Bob Knight movie?
I looked it up, yeah. Dan Becker and whoever the vice principal or the principal is at Fort Richmond Collegiate.
Mike Weeks.
Mike Weeks, thank you. They were both in that movie.
Buckets! Baruna Bendu for 3. Why were they in the Bob Knight movie?
I have no clue why, but they were casted in it as basketball players, and they did a great job.
Wow, that's awesome. Mark Roxas into the front court. Layup. Good. And not as big of a...
yourself there, little man. He's getting some emotion out of there, banging his chest already. Sorry, Nick.
No, I was just going to say, not as big of a turnout fan-wise. Still a pretty good turnout. Nice find underneath. Guy Weinberg lays it in.
But
good find from
honestly,
Bendu.
this makes no match to the crowds that we saw for Sergeant Park and Meadows as well. For those and the sister game, no way.
Uzona picks up a foul, trying to defend Uzona. That's Jason Uzona picking up a foul, guarding Michael Uzona. And an illegal screen set by Jason Sy.
Fouls on St. Paul's Maroon, number 13, Jacob Sy. First of the game.
Weinberg bringing it up, gets it over to Bendu. Bendu driving, pitches to Uzona. Uzona, powerful strides, gets to the lane. Haskins, Ojo, Truth Ojo, shot won't go. Uzona puts it back up. It's fouled, he'll go to the line. Checking into the game for the Maroon, Liam Demetz. He comes in for Jacob Sy, who picks up his second.
In the game for St. Paul's White was number 11, Chris Clarkson.
Uzona's first free throw knocks it down. Second one's no good. Haskins on the rebound.
Nope.
Floater from Weinberg, no good. Haskins on the glass. He's fouled. He'll go to the free throw line. First free throw's good for Haskins. Second one's no good. Nice find by Uzona. Ball knocked out, won't go in.
St. Paul's White, number 11, Chris Clarkson. Checking in the game for St. Paul's Maroon, number 11, Miles Stewart.
First free throw's no good. That's Marlon Alfaro at the free throw line. Second one's good. Ball kicked out, Weinberg with it. Another goggles. Another goggles in the crowd.
Lots of them, yes, there are.
Chris Clarkson now over to Uzona. Great strides by Uzona. Can't put it in.
Great strides nonetheless, as you said. Fortunately, didn't stay down for him.
Haskins, shot no good.
Get out, get out, get out.
Haskins pitches out. Jumper, Clarkson, yes. Pass ahead. Uzona missed it. Ojo has it swatted away. That's Miles Stewart, my bad. Demetz trying to chase it down. It'll go out of bounds. It'll be a white ball. Clarkson throws in bounds. Uzona has it. Going to work on Stewart. Stewart picks up a foul. Clarkson throws it in. Weinberg with the ball. Weinberg, nice pass down low to Tessier. Tessier, tough shot, won't go. Rebound by Uzona, and here we go off to the races. Uzona, nice pitch to Miles Stewart. Stewart, layup up, missed.
Yeah, nothing staying down for either team here. It's tough.
Uzona with a rebound for the Whites. Jason Uzona into the front court. Nice take, he missed. Stewart with a rebound. Stewart hauls it in, gets it over to Roxas now. Roxas into the front court. Nice find!
Wow.
Michael Uzona with a layup. Haskins sends it over to Weinberg. Pitches over. Clarkson. Weinberg, nice take there. St. Paul's White leads 11-9. Crossover, Roxas, spin move. Alfaro has it up top, looking for the Demetz screen. Demetz at the screen. Rojas navigating. Triple. Shot won't go. I mean, Alfaro Demetz on the glass. Misses. It'll be out of bounds. It'll be white ball. Coming into the game, Truth Ojo and Baruna Bendu.
Number 15, Baruna Bendu.
Ojo, carry ball. Here comes Roxas into the front court. Weinberg playing defense. Roxas going behind his back, spin move. Good defense by Weinberg. Pull-up shot. Stewart, no good. Jason Uzona with a rebound. Oh, that's Michael Uzona, sorry. Michael Uzona swings it out. Marlon Alfaro to the lane. Kicked away, and Michael Uzona scores.
11-11 here.
Weinberg with it. To Bendu. He's fouled. It'll be on the baseline. Checking into the game, number 6, Ashton Leping. For the white.
Number 6, Ashton Leping.
Free throws for Bendu. Baruna Bendu shooting foul shots. First one's good. I just want to say shout out to Tech Vok for bringing us these high-tech chairs we're sitting in. You can twist the armrest if you press both buttons. How cool is that?
Dude.
You didn't even notice that. Narves didn't even notice. Here comes Roxas into the front court. Pitch. Corner triple on its way. Shot no good. Clarkson with a rebound. That was Evan Hurst with a miss. Here we go. Truth Ojo to the rim.
So you gotta
Shot is good. He's fouled.
I thought St. Paul's was just a high school. When do they have a junior school?
No, it's not. It's 9 to 12. These teams are playing in the grade 9 division.
Ah, okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Before it used to be, when I was there, we had the grade 9 team who played in the junior high division, like the grade 9 league.
Okay.
And then we had the grade 9 JV team, the better team, who played against the Division 2 JV league. But I think they switched because there was no real advantage to playing the older kids just because they were older. There was no actual advantage. I think like they went undefeated a bunch of times. So like we might as well play in the grade 9 league and split up the teams evenly.
Yeah, that's probably a better thing to do.
Nice pass by Roxas. Finds Uzona. Michael Uzona running hook. Maroon down 13-15. Haskins driving, kicks out to Ojo. Truth Ojo pitches. Ashton Leping in the corner. Loses his dribble, kicks it out. Clarkson to Haskins. Demet all over him. Jumper. Haskins. Shot no good. Uzona with the rebound. Here comes Roxas. Ooh, Roxas was looking ahead there for Evan Hurst. Couldn't find him, and he threw the pass instead to Mikhail Kataris, who turned it over. Here comes Bendu. Baruna Bendu picks up his dribble. Haskins drives. Pulls it back out now. Kicks. Bendu. Straightaway triple. No good. Haskins has it back. Ojo. Ojo drives. Euro stepping his way through the lane. He's fouled. He's going to the free throw line.
From St. Paul's Room, 10 defense is fourth in the game for St. Paul's before Vivic.
Ojo's first free throw goes in.
That's third foul.
16-13, 30 seconds left in the first quarter. Second one bounces out. Rebound by Ozona, picked up by Caparas. Turned over though, and Clarkson has it for the white team. Ashton Leping kicks it out. Bendu drives, pull-up jumper, no good. Ozona drives, layup good. It looks like he was trying to dunk it there.
Yeah, he looked like he was trying to get some hops to get up there.
Michael Ozona gets him within one. Bendu turns it over. Ozona the buzzer. No, he didn't get it off the time. 16-15 for the St. Paul's White at the end of the first quarter. Basketball Manitoba is hosting Open Provincial Team Tryouts May 24th and 26th at the Canada Games Sport for Life Centre for ages 15 and under and 17 and under players. Details can be found at basketballmanitoba.ca. Support the Basketball of Life Fund by purchasing a specialty basketball license plate from Manitoba Public Insurance. Wow, I cannot speak. The plates can be purchased from any of the 300 MPI Autopack outlets in Manitoba. Show off your love of basketball at the same time, helping a great cause to get more young people involved in the sport. More info can be found at mpi.nb.ca. Second quarter action here. I'm Nicholas Bueno here calling the game for you between St. Paul's Maroon and St. Paul's White. Roxas to the cup. Tough shot won't go. Rebound by Weinberg. Weinberg gets it over to Truth Ojo now. Ojo ahead. Ozona. Jason Ozona spin move. Flips it up. Shot won't go. Bendu is stolen by Roxas for the Maroon team. Layup good. Weinberg, Bendu, pull-up jumper, no good. Ozona stepped out of bounds. Kenai, the referee there. Nidachoruk cheering his team on from the sidelines. Coach Joey Nidachoruk played 5 years with the Manitoba Bisons. Last year was his last year. This past year he spent with them as an assistant coach as they got to the playoffs but were bounced by the Winnipeg Westmen in the first round of the play-in matchup. Off to the races now is the Maroon team. Layup won't go. Wide open layup from Evan Hurst, but is stolen by Mikel Caparas. Throws it in. Roxas, triple, wing, no good. Leping tried to pick it up. Is out of bounds. It'll be a white ball. Weinberg to Ojo. Ojo drives, tough shot. They're calling a trap. No, they're calling a foul on the floor. I thought that he was in motion for shooting there. Apparently was not from the referee, and continuation will not happen. Pass picked off by Roxas. Clarkson throws it in. Baruna Bendu has it now. Weinberg swings it over to Ojo. Ojo, crossover, layup. He's fouled. He'll go to the line for two.
Fouls on Michael Caparas, his first.
Dante Haskins comes back in for the white team. Or no, he's checking in, sorry, the next opportunity. Truth Ojo to the free throw line. First shot is good, ties up this game at 17. On the floor for the white team, Chris Clarkson, Guy Weinberg, Truth Truth Ojo, Aruna Bendu, Jason Haskins on the floor for the Maroon team. Vivek Dillon, Michael Luzona, Evan Hurst, Mikel Kaparis, and Mark Roxas. Here comes Truth Ojo now into the front court. Sizes up his man. Teardrop in the lane, won't fall. Three-pointer on its way. Shot, no, missed everything. Airball there for Evan Hurst. Arizona tried to save it, and that didn't go as planned. It'll go to the white team. St. Paul's White tied up at 17 here with Maroon. 6:04 left in the first half. Weinberg backs it back out now. Bendu over to Uzona. Jason Uzona sizing up Michael Uzona. Clarkson pitches. Bendu, jab step, drives. Good defense by Dillon. Shot won't go. Haskins on the glass, flips it up. He's fouled. It goes down and one. Rod Uzat loving it from the sideline. Rod Uzat looks sharp in that three-piece suit. He's got the navy jacket, navy pants. He's got the gray shirt, the white collar. The custom collars are big for Rod Uzat, and the striped tie. Joey Nidichork's wearing a shoulder sling. Looks real good on him, although I'm sure he'd prefer not to be wearing it. Haskins missed the free throw, but they're saying lane violation. And what is the foul call there? Yeah, they're saying there was some sort of foul. It'll be white ball. Weinberg with it up top. Down low to Uzona. And Jason Uzona missed the push shot. Flips it back up and in. But Michael Uzona tried to draw a charge there. He didn't sell it very well. It was too feeble of a hit, I think, for him to go down. Uzona gives it over to Roxas. Roxas uses the screen from Dillon. Roxas pull up J in the key. Shot no good. Called in by Dante Haskins. Good screen set by Tessier. Haskins pulls it back out. Finds Uzona driving. Blocked by Roxas, but Jason Uzona gets his own rebound, puts it back in. Timeout called on the floor by Joey Nidichork. St. Paul's White leads 23-17. We'll be back after this timeout.
Support the Basketball of Life Fund by purchasing a specialty basketball license plate from Manitoba Public Insurance. The plates can now be purchased from any of the 300 MPI non-members in Manitoba. Show your love of basketball at the same time helping a great cause to get more young people involved in the sport. More information can be found at mpi.md.ca.
We're back here after the timeout. Mark Roxas for the Maroon team bringing the ball up the court. Guy Weinberg playing defense on him. St. Paul's White leads St. Paul's Maroon 23-17. Roxas dribbling into trouble. A crowd of White Crusaders around him, and they're calling a kick ball. It'll be Maroon basketball.
And for St. Paul's White, number 12, Truth Ojo. And for St. Paul's Maroon, number 14, Jacob Sy.
shot. No, Roxas passed it out. Weinberg gets on the floor for the loose ball. Great hustle by both teams. And another kickball violation. Rod Uza is very animated. He's not too happy about that call. He's not too happy about his team's effort there. Screaming at Jason Uzona, grab the ball. Roxas has it up top. Weinberg guarding him. Screen set by Jacob Sy. Roxas has room. Pitches to the corner. Evan Hurst traveled on that play. Good pressure by Maroon on Guy Weinberg. And he beats the press. For some reason, the double team just left there. Weinberg puts up a tough shot. Nice hit. Guy Weinberg coast to coast. And it's an 8-point lead for the Whites. Mark Roxas bringing it across the timeline. Use that talking to Ashton Leping. And that's a 10-second violation. You don't see that often. Use that talking to Ashton Leping as he's coming into the game now. Ojo throws it in bounds off the fingers of Ashton Leping. It'll be out of bounds. It'll go to the Maroon team. Baruna Bendu checks into the game for Dante Haskins. Roxas using the side screen. Roxas attacks the cup. He scores. He's fouled. Jason Tessier called for the foul. He tried to get the block there. Roxas to the free throw line, trying to add one more on that 3-point play. Free throw's good. 25-20 for the white team, 3:38 left in the half. Inbounds from Uzona to Ojo. Truth Ojo's beating up the court, puts up a tough shot, won't go, he's fouled, he'll go to the free throw line for 2.
Evan Hurst.
Ojo's first free throw misses. Ojo's second one hits back iron. Michael Uzona off to the races. Out of control, and he just lost it midway up on that layup. Jason. Jason Uzona to the free throw line. First free throw's no good. Second free throw's in. St. Paul's White leads 26-20 with 3:21 left in the half. Uzona uses the screen from Sy, attacks the cup. Tough shot won't go. Michael Uzona misses. Jason Uzona with the rebound for the white team. Baruna Bendu attacks the perimeter, finds Uzona on the give and go. And the White Crusaders up 28-20 against the Maroon Crusaders. Roxas crossover, gives it over now to Caparas. Hurst in the corner. Now to Roxas, size up Ojo. Michael Uzona, tough shot, good. Ojo to Haskins. Haskins up top to Uzona, and he traveled.
into the game for St. Paul's White is number 11, Chris Clarkson.
Roxas has it up top. Crossover, spin move, tough shot in the lane, off back iron and drops in. And the inbounds pass is stolen by Michael Luzona, but he steps out of bounds. Crusaders White have possession on their own baseline. Chris Clarkson inbounds to Guy Weinberg. Weinberg pressed full court by Mark Roxas. Bone-crushing screen set by Dante Haskins. Good defense by Cy here. And a foul underneath. Weinberg's entry pass to Haskins is broken up by an undercut by Mark Roxas.
St. Paul's Maroon, number 8, Mark Roxas. Dante Haskins to shoot 2.
First free throw is good for Haskins. Second free throw is good for Haskins. And there's a foul charged on the play to, it looks like Dante Haskins. No, it's on Guy Weinberg. Roxas gets the inbounds pass. 2 minutes remaining here in the half. Oh, nice play by Roxas to split the defense and lay it in. Oh, nice. Oh, Clarkson with the look. Almost turned it over. White recover, though. Weinberg kicks. Clarkson. Short corner jumper. No good. Uzona with the rebound for Maroon. Uzona attacking the key. Gets in the lane. Layup's good. And the lead is at 2 for White. St. Paul's White into the front court. Guy Weinberg using the screen. Backs it out. Gives it over to Haskins. Haskins to Ojo. Ojo backs it out now. Drives. Attacks the double team. Puts up a tough shot blocked by Cy. And Rod Uzat picks up Jason Uzona off the bench and shoves him towards the scores table. Roxas, nice move, great find. Layup's no good though. Put back, put in by Michael Luzona. That was Mikel Caparas who missed the layup. Offensive foul drawn by Jacob Cy. Great play there. Chris Clarkson came barreling in out of control.
Chris Clarkson. Coming into the game for St. Paul's White is number 7, Jason Uzona. And into the game for St. Paul's Maroon is number 11, Miles Stewart.
Miles Stewart checks into the game for St. Paul's Maroon. Oh, and nice play by Guy Weinberg to pull the chair. And Jacob Cy gets called for a backcourt violation there. Into the game for St. Paul's Maroon, Marlon Alfaro, who hasn't seen the court in a while due to foul trouble. Bendu to Ojo, Weinberg, looking for the 3, not going to get it. Uzona, fadeaway jumper, shot won't go. And there's a foul, it's another offensive one.
Number 14, Dante Haskins is first.
"17 seconds left in the half. All tied up at 30. Roxas bringing it up into the front court. Weinberg playing defense on Roxas. Roxas drives into the keys. Fouled. And Baruna Bendu is called for the foul. 4 seconds left in the half, tied up at 30. Mark Roxas to the free throw line for St. Paul's Maroon. First free throw is good. Gives Maroon the first lead in a while. Second free throw bounces off back iron. Michael Uzono with offensive board. Can't put it in. At the buzzer, it's good! Marlon Alfaro puts it in at the buzzer, and St. Paul's Maroon leads it 33-30 at halftime. We'll be back for second half action of this game.
At halftime, the score, St. Paul's Maroon 33, St. Paul's White.
Yeah, I do. And here we are back for second half basketball between St. Paul's White, St. Paul's Maroon. Scores 33-30 for the Maroon team. And here with us is U15 boys provincial team coach, John Jansen. John, how's it going?
I'm doing very well. How about you?
I'm doing well. What do you think of the game so far?
It's been a good game, back and forth. Guys are playing with a lot of energy. It's good to see.
So are you looking forward to being the head coach with the provincial team this year?
Absolutely. I got a little taste last year as a assistant coach with the 15U team, and so coming on to be the head coach this year is going to be a lot of fun. Really looking forward to it.
What made you decide that you're ready to take the jump to head coach?
It's something that I've always wanted to do. It's been something that it's been kind of my goal to get at the provincial level and get involved with it. And again, last year, since I got that little taste of it, I really enjoyed it, and I figured this year I'd give it a shot. And I've been coaching for 10 years now, and this is just the next level for me.
So when you're watching games like this, what are the kind of things that you look for in players that might stick in your mind as Bendu gets to and one?
Well, I'm really looking for skill. You're looking for that general skill, that ability, but then you're also looking for some of the court awareness. You want to see like how guys play without the ball or on defense. Often you look at guys when they have the ball, but you want to see a bunch more than just what they do with the ball. It's what they're doing without, what they're doing off the ball. Do they have that court awareness? Guys who just have a nose for the ball, who's getting rebounds that they shouldn't get, who are making plays that they shouldn't be making. Stuff like that.
Yeah, and basketball has grown so much in Manitoba over the past couple of years.
Absolutely, yeah.
Looking at the skill of some of these guys now, I remember when I was in high school, I was not this good when I was in grade 9.
Oh, I was not this good at all either. Nope.
Yeah,
the range that some of these kids have, how they shoot the ball, how they finish around the rim, it's impressive.
Yeah, they're really athletic too, honestly. Maybe I'm just misremembering how athletic kids were in grade 9 when I was there, but you've got a lot of really good athletes in this bunch.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree with you.
So what goes into that huge growth of the sport in the province? Because basketball is not really, you think of Canada, it's hockey and football.
Yeah, I think there's just a passion for it. I think there's a lot of kids who just love the sport, and they're trying to find ways to get involved, and the more they get involved and the more they do, and there's a lot of good coaches out there that are working with a lot of kids and showing them how to do it, and it helps a bunch because there definitely is a passion for it. Everywhere I go, kids love basketball. So
yeah, I think to a certain point. I mean, obviously this does, having Canada games here with the basketball finals and the playoffs and everything really helped grow basketball in Manitoba.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
As free throws missed there from Uzona. Do you come to a lot of these games at the grade 9 level, or is it just mostly?
I've tried to. I coach at the grade 9 or at grade 8 level as well, so I know a couple of the kids, and I try to get out to a few games a year. But I also coach at the varsity level, and that's made it tough for me to come to a lot. But
yeah. What's one of the toughest things that you've faced so far as being the provincial head coach?
So far?
Yeah.
We're still in the early stages of it, but getting together with the assistants and trying to figure out the plans for the year and kind of what we want to do and what we want to figure out. But a lot of that has to do with the athletes that we get out, and so we've talked a little bit of strategy of how we want to plan practices and what we want to run and stuff like that. But a lot of that's still up in the air because we need to see which athletes will be in attendance and who kind of separates themselves from the pack, and maybe a surprise kid here or there. All of a sudden, someone shows up who we weren't expecting. So
yeah, and it's critical to come out to games, just a couple of games a year, as the three is launched from the wing. No good for the Maroon team. Zone on the glass, can't score. I think it's really critical. It's really great for you as a coach to be doing this kind of stuff, because when you're having those tryouts with kids, how many kids come out? 75, 80 at least?
Yeah, at least. Yeah, last year I believe there were about 90, 95.
It's really hard to gauge how good every kid is, right?
Oh, absolutely. And tryouts are always a tough thing because it's a very short window and coaches are asking for a lot, and you need to show a lot in a very short amount of time. So being able to come and see some kids in some game action.
What a shot there by Mark Roxas to put the St. Paul's Maroon up 37-36 with 5 minutes left in the third quarter. If you're just joining us, it's the senior boys championship game here, St. Paul's Maroon, St. Paul's White. The white team is now leading 38-37 after that Guy Weinberg layup. We're here with U15 boys provincial coach John Jansen. John, do you want to talk a little bit about how you choose assistant coaches and the guys that you have and what they bring to the table?
Yeah, absolutely. My assistant coaches that I have this year, I've worked with each of them for a number of years. After graduating, I got into coaching right away, and both of them were the guys who I started coaching with, and so we have just a good system and a good culture of coaching that we're all agree on, and it makes coaching a lot easier. And I truly think having good assistants around you and a good coaching staff around you makes it a lot more easier. It makes you enjoy going to practices, and if you're all on the same page, if you're all you have the same idea and philosophy behind it, then it makes it easy. So that's kind of when I asked my assistant coaches, I had no problem with them because, again, we're on the same page with a lot of what we do. So
most definitely. Jason Uzona to the free throw line for St. Paul's White. He misses the second. He made the first. 39-37. St. Paul's White. Triple on its way in the corner. No good from Baruna Bendu. What are some of the things that you guys are going to be doing with the provincial team this year? I know you guys travel. Do you play a lot locally, or is it's difficult with that group, correct?
Yeah, so nationals, we're heading to New Brunswick this year. We're looking to go to a tournament out of town. We're still waiting on some of the details on that. And we do a couple local exhibitions and games and try to get the guys some game situations before we go to nationals. Want to get them in that compete mode and different in practice. But we'll have a bunch of practices as well, a bunch of training sessions, but try to get a couple local games
for sure
for some potential club teams or some of the other provincial teams.
For sure. And when you're coaching the kids, like, what's your kind of philosophy when you're coaching them? Are you trying to prepare them for the next level of high school? Are you trying to develop their skills as much? Are you trying to win? Like, how do you approach that?
It's a mixture of everything. You definitely want to help them, every player, part of the team, develop. You want them all to grow as a basketball player and also just as a young men, right? Like, I really found that was important. I knew sports did a lot for me, and it was really important to me, and I learned a lot, and I grew a lot from it, and learned some qualities and some characteristics that stuck with me, and so that's important. But yeah, you definitely want to win at the same time. The kids love competing; they want to win too. So you definitely want to do that for them, and you're kind of trying to show them the ropes of what it takes to play at a higher level, and when you got a good coaching staff around you, you got lots of people who can show them the different levels, and that helps out a bunch. So
I can imagine. Shot no good at the rim from Jason Uzona. Ball picked up by Jason Demetz. Throws it ahead across half court. Here's Mark Roxas into the front court. Puts up a layup. Shot won't go. Batted up in the air. Jason Uzona comes down with it, pushing the pace now for St. Paul's White. Attacks the cup. Flips it up, won't go. Michael Uzona fouled on the floor. John Jansen, thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. That was John Jansen, head coach of the boys provincial U15. Thanks. 41-39 here for St. Paul's White. 2:53 remaining in the third quarter. Mark Roxas in the corner now for St. Paul's Maroon. Trying to dribble out of trouble, and a blocking foul called against Baruna Bendu.
So number 15, Baruna Bendu, second.
Michael Luzona has the ball. Baruna Bendu guarding him. Gets the Jason Demetz screen, and it's going to go the other way as an illegal screen set by Jason Demetz. Liam Demetz, sorry, I've been calling him Jason for the past quarter. My apologies to Liam Demetz and his wonderful family, who I'm assuming is listening and loving watching him play. Liam Demetz called for the illegal screen. Some of the fans screaming bonus at the referees, which I think it should be. However, that was an offensive foul, so it's not going to be. Weinberg up top gets it to Truth Ojo. Truth Ojo drives. Nice take. Pitches out. Jason Tessier triple in the corner won't go, and Michael Luzona with a rebound for the St. Paul's Maroon. Luzona into the front court, speeding ahead. Finds Marlon Alfaro, kicks out, jumper, up top, no good. Miles Stewart with a miss. Dante Haskins with it. Here comes Guy Weinberg, pitch, Jason Tessier. Jason Tessier to the cup, shot no good. St. Paul's White still leading at 41-39. Crossover by Uzona, picked up by Bendu. Guy Weinberg stripped it away and he gets a steal. Euro step for Weinberg. He's fouled. He'll go to the free throw line for 2. 1:38 left here in the quarter.
In the game for St. Paul's White is number 7, Jason Uzona. For St. Paul's.
Guy Weinberg to the free throw line. Guy Weinberg, first free throw is good. Second free throw bounces up and in. Ashton Leping checks in for St. Paul's White. Alfaro has it up top, uses the Demetz screen, drives against Haskins, pitches out. Uzona shuffled his feet. It's going to go the other way. Truth Ojo into the front court now across the timeline. Sizing up his man, crosses up on Hurst, puts up a tough shot. Truth Ojo is the truth. Puts that one in. Stolen away. Jason Uzona driving, puts it up. Layup's good. Michael Uzona, hands off. Hurst kicks out to Uzona. Uzona puts up a tough shot at the rim, won't go. It's rebounded by Baruna Bendu. And great awareness to keep his head up while he's on the floor. The loose ball. Found Jason Uzona streaking into the front court, who scores. And our NBA player comp is Jason Uzona as Pascal Siakam. That's what's good. Marlon Alfaro hands off. Michael Uzona steps into a pull-up triple air ball. Dante Haskins picks it up, and not a great shot selection there from St. Paul's Maroon. Now they give the White a possession and a chance to score, as Jason Uzona does. Bank shot is good. And they're trying to roll it on the floor. That doesn't do anything in FIBA. St. Paul's White leads at 51-39 at the end of 3. We'll be back for fourth quarter action on Tech Block Broadcasting Network.
St. Paul's White 51, St. Paul's Maroon 39.
And here we are back for fourth quarter action between both St. Paul's teams. St. Paul's White leading St. Paul's Maroon 51-39. And we're sitting here with St. Paul's varsity head coach, two-time provincial champion, Jeff Leping. Jeff, how's it going?
Pretty good. This is pretty exciting.
Yeah, it's pretty good to be up here. I feel like so legit having multiple guests.
Thank you. I want to give a shout out to my sisters in California and North Carolina watching the game.
Oh yeah, big shout out. We're going global here. Tech Block Broadcasting Network's going worldwide.
Good.
So this is obviously great for St. Paul's basketball as a program. Something that when you look at maybe 10 years ago, St. Paul's is seen as only a football and hockey school. How do you view this as the head coach of the varsity team?
Well, I got a few texts today from former players basically saying that exact same thing, thinking back to when they played and everybody just saying St. Paul's was a football hockey school, and it shows just the growth of our program.
Yeah, and how does that happen? Was there a conscious effort being put towards it, or?
It's just, a lot of hard work from a lot of people, and, kids start to see when you have some success and want to come, so.
Yeah, congratulations last year, you guys won provincial champions. Shout out Ben Gardner, who's listening and texting me about this.
He's texting me as well.
Oh yeah, good. So I bet my phone's gonna buzz soon. You look at a game like this, and obviously the kids that you had last year, I remember when they were in grade 9 just entering the school.
Yeah.
How do you see these kids growing, and what do you look for in the kids when you're watching these games?
Well, we try to look for me anyways, I like to look for not just the guys that are really quite good right now, but guys that we can see some potential in as well, that maybe with a little more work on their game can become a better player. Sort of like yourself when you were younger.
Yeah. Hoskins into the front court, puts up a layup shot, no good. Let's talk a little bit about the St. Paul's grade 9 basketball reformation. When I was there, we had the one team playing in the grade 9 division, and then they had the other team playing in the JV Division 2.
Right.
And it was nice to know that you're playing against older kids, but I kind of got the sense that it would go undefeated every year.
Well, and to be honest with you, we would probably prefer to do that. The league itself decided not to allow us to have 2 JV teams any longer. So we've kind of the last, I think, 4 years, we've had 2 JV teams in Pembina Trails.
Yeah.
And so we split them evenly, and it's been really good for development. This is the first time, obviously, where we've had such a strong group that both have really been kind of in the top 5 all year. So
yeah, and I'm sure this is going to lead to another rule change, right? You guys are dominating the grade 9 level.
I believe Basketball Manitoba did get a few texts and calls today about the fact how could they allow 2 from the same school in the final, that kind of thing. So,
what do you mean allow? Do you want the teams to just throw the game? Oh man, we're up 10 with 5 minutes left. We better start losing.
Exactly. I'm not sure exactly why people get upset, but
and you do know why, I'm sure, right? People just, you don't want to see teams win, whether it's the Patriots or the Warriors, or everybody says, it's just luck, or they buy their way there. But that's just obviously not true.
Exactly, and I think, in all the years I've been coaching, this has never happened. I doubt it will ever happen again. And to be honest with you, both teams it's not like they were 1-2 going into this. The Maroon team had should have probably lost their first game in the quarterfinal.
Yeah. And
came back and beat Garden City. Down probably 5 or 6 with under a minute, and then again they were down 8 in their semifinal game and came back to win. But that's grade 9 basketball. It's no lead is safe.
Yeah, and it's chaotic in a sense, right? You can see there's obvious skill here, and the kids know what they're doing to a certain point. And at the same time, everybody's a wild card.
Yeah, definitely.
I can't believe Adam Wedlake rigged the games in those last minutes to get St. Paul's the wins,
Exactly. Well, Adam is definitely a very big fan of ours, so.
Yeah, I can tell. Whether or not the teams don't want you guys to have 2 JV teams, I think this is probably accelerating talent for the better, right? the two teams are obviously very good. They're split down the middle. What better than to come back in each of your games to reach the final and play each other?
Exactly, and I mean, it was just a very exciting week for our grade 9s. You know, they all came out to watch the provincial final on Monday, and we're supporting our varsity boys. And you know, we actually have 3 grade 9s that played up on our JV team. So there's right now quite a bit of talent at the school. So
now, please correct me if I'm wrong, but Monday night was your 6th provincial final appearance?
I believe it. Yes, I believe it was
6th.
my 6th provincial final.
How do you build a program to be that successful to go to 6 provincial finals?
Good question. I'm not exactly sure how we've done it. You know, there's a lot of years where, you know, I thought we had some very good teams and we didn't make it there. And then other times where going in, like this year, for example, I wasn't sure we graduated a lot of guys from a really good team. Didn't return a lot of guys that got a lot of action, but you know, we had a very good JV team and guys really kind of came together well. So it's kind of one of those things where it's hard to answer that question.
Yeah, and it obviously depends on talent of other teams,
Exactly.
and sometimes you might just get a lucky break, right?
Exactly.
It's not a 7-game series where you get the best team winning 90% of the time.
Exactly.
So what's your approach going into every season coaching-wise? Like, do you approach every season completely differently because of the players, or is it kind of like, this is how I like playing, how can we get the guys to buy in?
I think a little bit of both. I think I always go into the season and try to build towards being as good as we can be by provincial time. So I think we've used the same process from the beginning of the season as we go forward. Now, how we might approach the games, like, and how the style of play we play, could differ depending on our, you know, maybe we have more big guys or we have more quickness or whatever. But in terms of how we want to work on our development over the course of the season is going to stay the same every year.
Yeah, and when you were coaching those kids, I was talking with John Jansen a little bit about this earlier. Are you kind of thinking, how can I get a win for a provincial title, or is it, how can I make these kids better and prepare them for the next level? How do you balance those two ideals?
It really is a tough one, and I do think that too often in coaching we really have that end goal of being a championship, and certainly, you know, when we've won, I've enjoyed it. But I don't think that is always our goal, because this is just high school still, right? So I want to make sure that I'm not just coaching our guys to win every game, but making sure that we're also spending time on their skill development and getting better as basketball players.
Totally. And like, looking at this team this year, you said you graduated a lot of guys in 2018, 2019. You come back, get to the provincial final against a very good Massey team. What's your outlook for next year?
Well, I mean, we have a number of really strong players back. I thought Jonan Kazadi was probably our best player in the provincial final. He's only grade 11. Zach Wynn, I thought, gave us some really good minutes all year at point guard. And then Mawa Togo kind of gives us 3 guys that are really sort of going to be solid contributors next year. And then we just build around that. And in high school, you don't necessarily need 10 amazing players. If you know you have 3 really good players, chances are going to be you're going to be pretty successful. So.
Do you need to stagger that a lot, or if it's high school, you know, the kids are young, they can play those extended minutes?
Well, hopefully we have enough. Like the way our style is, I like to play closer to 9 or 10 guys than 5 or 6.
Yeah.
So I do think we have to try to find and develop players that can step into some of those roles, so that we're not trying to go 40 minutes for multiple players.
Do you ever look at some kids when you're coaching them and you think, like, yeah, this guy would be a really good assistant coach later, or this guy would be a really good coach later?
Definitely. And I think, you know, down there right now on the Maroon bench is Joey Ninachorik, who played for me, and Josh Sleva, who was on our 2014 provincial championship team. And I really do hope that more of our guys do go into education and coaching, but not everybody chooses that path.
For sure.
I know, like Amir Ali, for example, I think would be a phenomenal coach, but he's got aspirations of becoming a doctor or something.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, hey, he could be like Ollie. Years from now, he can come back and use that knowledge, maybe sit at the end of your bench for a while, take over a JV team.
Good comparison. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what first came to my mind. You know, you've been in the game for a long time as a high school coach. Are there any trends you notice? Like, if you have a really good guard, you can win, or if you have a really good big, you can win, or does it vary from year to year?
Well, I think obviously this year with Massey, I think everybody's looking for the Kyler Filovich type. They're so hard to find, and particularly one like Kyler that was so incredibly strong and physical, but then also really skilled and soft hands. You don't find players like that very often. So
yeah,
I think obviously over these last 3 years, that's really helped Massey. But most years, again, it all depends on the kind of the roster you have, and certainly we've seen over the years that you don't necessarily need that player to win. You know, you look at Oak Park a few years ago when they won, they really didn't have a true big guy, you know, like they played a lot of guys that could shoot, they spread you out, and there's a lot of different ways to win in this game. So.
Yeah, totally. Jeff Leping, head coach, St. Paul's varsity team, joining us here. 4-9 left in the final, 61-48 for St. Paul's White. One last question. Do you talk with the other basketball coaches trying to decide, like, look, maybe this kid I've seen from this and this, and you kind of coordinate to see if you can get the most out of the kids from the bottom roots without tampering with other teams?
It's kind of one of those things where with this group here in 9, I knew a bunch of them because my son Ashton's in this group, so I coached at this age group for a number of years, so I knew a bunch of the kids going in.
Yeah.
But most years I don't know who the kids really are, so for the most part I leave it up to the coaches that are working in those areas to develop the players and kind of give feedback to me more than me give feedback to them.
Yeah.
But this year it was different because I've seen so many of these kids over the course of the last 4 or 5 years. Just like, as you know, you played with Nick, my other son, and so in that year, I knew a bunch of those kids just from coaching and watching games for there. So
for sure, and shout out to St. Paul's coaches and assistants across all levels, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Jeff Leping, thank you so much for being with us. For those of you who don't know, Jeff Leping, head coach, St. Paul's varsity basketball team. It was a pleasure having you on.
Thanks, Nick, and congrats on your podcast. I listened to a couple episodes.
That's scary.
I quite enjoyed it, I'll be honest.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
I've focused more now. I've been listening to the college basketball podcast recently to try to get my bracket down.
For sure, yeah.
Which so far it's been relatively successful. I think I've only lost one today. So.
That's good. I mean, who really do you know locally, like, out of your friends goes perfect in the first day?
I believe your former coach, Ogo Akwamabua, is currently perfect in his...
He's lying. I know he's lying.
He is perfect right now, but I always say the person that typically wins the pool is somebody who knows nothing about college basketball.
Ain't that the truth? They pick whichever team's name sounds cooler.
Exactly.
I saw a picture of this guy. He has better shoes, so I'm going to pick him. Yeah, fair enough. Anyways, thank you for joining us on Tech Voc Broadcasting.
All right. Thanks, Nick.
Yeah, no problem.
All right, buddy.
Yeah. Technical free throws being shot by Jason Uzona. St. Paul's White leading 63-50 with 2:51 left in the game. Makes the first, 64-50. Rod Uzat talking to his team right now, telling them to keep pushing and to keep their foot on the gas pedal.
And for St. Paul's Warriors, number 11, Miles Stewart.
Bendu drives, gives it up to Haskins. Dante Haskins brings it out, kicks to Guy Weinberg. Weinberg up top, 2 seconds on the shot clock, puts up a desperation heave, shot hits iron, won't go. Uzona crashing boards, and a jump ball as Stewart jumps on the floor for it. 2:31 left in the game. St. Paul's White leads 64-50. Shouted again to our guests who are on the network with us. John Jansen, head coach, U15 boys provincial team, and Jeff Leping, head coach, St. Paul's varsity team, who just made an appearance in the 2019 provincial finals. St. Paul's lost to Massey 100-60. However, Jeff Leping, 2 provincial titles to his name. I think 6 appearances now as head coach of that program. Driving to the cup is Alfaro. Shots denied. A 16-point lead here with 2 minutes left. left. It looks like St. Paul's White's got it locked up. Dante Haskins has it now, gets it over to Ozona. Kicks to a wide open Clarkson. Clarkson mid-range J, pure jumper. Chris Clarkson's got a really nice mid-range game. Roxas driving to the rim. Nice take from Mark Roxas. Put it right over the outstretched hands of Varuna Bindu. Bindu, Haskins to Weinberg. Weinberg, Bindu, triple on the wing. Misses everything. That'll go out of bounds. 1:35 left, 68-52 for St. Paul's White.
And for St. Paul's White, 12, Truth Ojo.
Layup is good. Miles Stewart with a bucket. Truth Ojo gets it over to Dante Haskins. Haskins to Weinberg. Weinberg, runner. Oh, misses everything there. And an over the back foul on Clarkson. Roxas throws it ahead. Miles Stewart, corner triple, foot on the line, air ball. Arizona with the rebound, a minute left. It looks like St. Paul's White's just going to let the clock run out here. Once again, thank you all for joining us here on the Tech Block Broadcasting Network. Happy Thursday. March Madness started today. We got 4 games of championships. Congratulations to the Henry GIs at Wolves for the Junior Girls Championship game. The Tech Voc, sorry, not Tech Voc. I keep looking at the logo and getting confused. My apologies. The Sergeant Park Flames for the Junior Boys Championship game. The Sergeant Park Flames for the Senior Girls Championship game. And now what is looking like to be the St. Paul's Crusaders white team, coached by Dr. Rod Uzat, also VP of St. Paul Students, who are looking to be the champions here. Up 14 with 44 seconds left, 68-54. Dante Haskins to the free throw line, knocks down the first, 69-54. And puts up the second free throw. That's no good. And really a great day for St. Paul's basketball. You know, varsity team made the provincial finals, and now both teams in the final here for the grade 9 team, and obviously Joey Nittichork's team. Things haven't really gone their way. Down 15 with 39 seconds left. And they haven't really played as energetic as they were in the first half to come back and get the lead before the half ended. And yet still, the future's bright in St. Paul's basketball. You know, an incredible effort by Uzat's squad to rally and to really take stranglehold in this game in the second half, as Arizona lays that in. Arizona with the steal on the inbounds pass and a jump ball between him and Haskins. 28.9 seconds left. And really, if you're a St. Paul's fan, parent, student, teacher, coach, you got to be really happy with the results you've had recently. Jumper by Roxas, blocked. Nittichork asks for a foul. He's not going to get it. Arizona dribbles it up, has it knocked away, and it looks like St. Paul's White is just going to run the clock out here, and they're going to go for a jump ball with 11 seconds left, down 13. Chris Clarkson inbounds it to Truth Ojo. Truth Ojo loses it. Mark Roxas. Rod Uzat does not look pleased at all. He's just screaming at his team why. There's 6 seconds left and they just fouled on a breakaway shot. Uzat's not looking so happy in his snazzy 3-piece suit. Free throw for Roxas is good. 69-57 here. St. Paul's White leads with 6.7 seconds left. Shout out again to Tech Voc Broadcasting, the the production value they've done is amazing. All the camera angles, the scoreboard has been awesome, a nice little feature. All the people I've worked with have been incredible and nice and welcoming, so I really thank them for that. And why are they calling timeout with 6 seconds left? Whose idea was that? Again, back to TechVoc. No, they've been great. You can tell the broadcasting program here is high quality. You can tell the teachers teaching it and the kids learning are all eager, talented, hardworking individuals. So thankful for them for being welcoming and letting me do my thing, letting Narv do his thing, and allowing me my freedom to bring on some guests to chat over the broadcast. We got 28 seconds of timeout left with 6 seconds left in the game. For a reason I'm not entirely sure of, St. Paul's White leads St. Paul's Maroon 69-58. Yeah, 6 seconds left here in the game. And a dominant performance by St. Paul's White. Jason Uzona was awesome. His energy was great. He hustled all game. He was big on the boards. He finished well in transition. Truth Ojo and Dante Haskins, I thought, were great steadying presences as well. And Michael Uzona is going to steal it from his brother and dunk it at the buzzer. That was pretty cool. The timeout brought a dunk. I'm cool with it. 69-60 is your final score. St. Paul's White wins. St. Paul's Maroon wins the battle. St. Paul's White wins the war because St. Paul's Maroon got the dunk at the end of the game. Thank you so much. This is Nicholas Bueno signing off on TechVoc Broadcasting. Have a great night. Have a great March Madness. Have a great rest of your year. Have a great weekend. Now, as I'm doing this, I might as well say have a great rest of your life. Please, everybody, I love you all. Spread positivity and be great to your neighbor and anybody who you might encounter over the rest of your days. Thank you so much. I'm going off now.
Ladies and gentlemen, your attention, please. Basketball Manitoba would thank both St. Paul's Crusaders White and St. Paul's Crusaders Maroon for a great championship final game. Helping present the championship awards this evening, we have provincial team coaches John Jansen, Jeff Shattuck, and Sharanjit Goswami from this year's 15U provincial team, along with Adam Wedlake, Dan Becker, and Jillian Kaler of Basketball Manitoba. Basketball Manitoba would like to thank all the teams and coaches that participated in this year's tournament. Please give another round of applause for both teams and their great play in the championship final. Basketball Manitoba would also like to thank our host sites, Sergeant Park School, Leland North School, Sisler High School, Windsor Park Collegiate, and TechVoc High School for making this year's event possible. Basketball Manitoba would also like to thank all the parents and fans for supporting your teams all season. We would first like to call up the team captains of St. Paul's Maroon to present you with your finalist banner. Each player will be presented with a provincial finalist t-shirt. Please come forward when your name is called. Starting with number 2, Monteo Machado. Number 3, Michael Ruzana. Number 4, Vivek Dillon. Number 5, Michael Caparas. Number 6, Evan Hurst. Number 7, James Joseph. Number 8, Mark Roxas. Number 9, Marlon Alfaro. Number 10, Liam Demetz. Number 11, Miles Stewart. Number 12, Hans Alday. Number 13, Jacob Tsai. And number 15, Adam Kubara. Head coach, Joey Natorachuk. Assistant coaches, Josh Spima and Chris Snidel. One more time for the finalists, St. Paul's Maroon on a great season. And now we would like to call up the team captains of St. Paul's White to present you with your championship trophy and banner. Each player on St. Paul's White will be presented with a provincial championship t-shirt. Please come forward when your name is called. Number 3, Andrew Lee. Number 4, Guy Weinberg. Number 5, Harris Gumpf. Number 6, Ashton LePing. Number 7, Jason Luzana. Number 8, Hunt Hendry. Number 9, Henry Rye. Number 11, Chris Clarkson. Number 12, Truth Ojo. Number 13, Jason Tessier. Number 14, Dante Haskins. Number 15, Baruba Bendu. Number 21, Marco Trochanowski. And number 22, Nim Sood. And the coach, Rod Uzat. Teams can now shake hands and take a team photo under each basket. Thank you again for supporting the teams at this year's event. Have a great night.